Ever get that feeling where you're just like, I need something to shake up?
Yeah.
Because the grief was so heavy? It's like, yeah, like, don't go buy a new pair of sneakers. Why don't we apply for, a program?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for stepping into the gray area. I'm your host, Cal Gray, and today's guest is Dr. Jaivonne Seary.
Yes,
How you
hello.
doing, Doc?
I'm good. I'm good.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc? I'm good. It's
Oh.
a nice day out.
Jaivonne is a great family friend. When I met Jaivonne some years ago, it was nothing but energy and kicked off. She led with love, led with a lot of compassion. So
Still.
I'm pretty sure this interview is going to be pretty good.
I'll do my best. Not to disappoint.
Cool. So in the gray area, the gray area studio is here in my sneaker cave. We're sneaker enthusiasts. Your life is your journey. What you wear on your feet, you're not there to judge it. You're not judging.
We judge some people.
So what did you step into the gray area rocking today?
Oh, I had to. I pulled out the orange and blue Bojangles, for several reasons, but the main one, go Knicks.
Okay.
Knicks in 5.
Okay.
But also when I think about what we're going to talk about today and just like my journey, it's really like, I'm like the comeback kid, right? And so in my journey, just kind of talking about how many times there's been, I've been behind and I've had to, catch up, or I've had to pivot and go a different way. And so, game 4 really kind of reminded me, right? And not to do too much basketball talk, especially in this Lakers
I'm sorry.
dungeon.
But hey, I'm extremely happy
Yeah.
for Knicks fans. They are well deserving of this
Absolutely.
moment, and I hope they are able to cap it off with a championship.
Yeah.
I'm a New Yorker, so I cheer. I'm a cheer for them, but I've always just been a Laker fan. But I'm cheering for New York.
Yeah.
I am. I'm pulling for them. I'm hoping for them.
Yeah, but that's definitely why I was like, oh, yeah, these are going to work today. So.
Yes. Okay, let's get into it.
All right.
Spanish Harlem and the Bronx. That was your backyard growing up.
Absolutely.
What was that like being your hometown when you coming up?
I'm Spanish Harlem all day at Barrio. So at that time, it was, early 80s, it was very, very Puerto Rican heavy. And so that's the heart, I think, in New York of Puerto Rican culture. Born in Mount Sinai, all of that. But then throughout the years, we moved to the Bronx. So, lived in a couple of different places in the Bronx. So my sister absolutely hands down represents the Bronx all day. I represent Spanish Harlem all day.
Okay.
And, but it was great. It was great to be around the culture, but also, if you know anything about Spanish Harlem, it's an area of Harlem. It's an area of Manhattan. And so you literally can walk a couple of blocks this way and be in like Uptown, Upper East Side. You could walk this way and be in different parts of Harlem. And so, you got the Heights on the other side. It was a really good area, I think, to be in. And, the Bronx is just the Bronx. So
What? Just the Bronx? The Bronx is
it's just the
culture.
Bronx. It's just the Bronx.
The Bronx
Many different cultures, but yeah,
Yes.
much love to the Bronx. I still represent it, but Harlem
all day.
all day.
As a kid growing up, my parents divorced early, and when I was younger, my dad owned a liquor store in Harlem. So every weekend,
Learn something new every day.
I was in Harlem every weekend. So I tell people I'm born in Brooklyn, raised in the Bronx, cultured in Harlem.
Absolutely.
So we still go to Harlem to get our haircut. Go to Denny Mo's every week.
Absolutely.
So Harlem, I have cousins and families in Harlem. Harlem is it's home. It's considered home to me. But so you moved? Did you move back and forth from the Bronx to Harlem a few times?
Yeah, it
Okay.
definitely like, and that's why I said in between,
Got you.
because it was definitely, for a couple of years, it was a lot of kind of like a little bit of back and forth.
Got it.
But I always also hold tight to Spanish Harlem because my grandfather has always lived there in my life and still there, right?
Okay.
So Franklin Plaza between, Second and Third Avenue on 106th Street. So he's my mecca, right?
Gotcha.
Because he's been the most steady when we talk about kind of like areas to live and grow up in. So absolutely, Spanish Harlem has just been my heartbeat.
Got you. So you graduated from Martin Luther King High School.
Yeah.
I heard that's not the only high school you went to.
Yo. That was high school number 3.
It's usually
That was high school number 3. I started off at Manhattan Center for Science and Mathematics in Spanish Harlem on York Avenue. That didn't work out. That was about 2 months worth of schooling, and my mom said she out of here, and I got put in Preston High School in the Bronx.
Okay.
And so I went to Preston for 2 years, and then junior year I transferred. So I did my junior and my senior year at MLK.
So bouncing around, Mom Dukes had to make a decision for you, right? But so what was the
That was all for my behaviors. That wasn't all for
that's the question.
all
Like,
right.
what was a young Jay Seary like growing up, just having to be
Not that different. Jeez, not that different. I was still very, much silly and playful and just wanted to have fun. And I just had a little too much fun my first quarter in high school. And my mom felt I needed a little more structure. And so I got put in a Catholic school in the Bronx. And then, due to some like financial circumstances and other things, because it's really expensive to put kids in private school. Ended up down at MLK, and I absolutely loved it, and that's why I ended up graduating from. So,
Cool. Sweet.
yeah,
So
but I only really represent
you found a
MLK.
high school home, but you eventually was like, oh, I like it here.
Oh yeah, once I got to Martin Luther King, it was a wrap. Like
Okay.
that was it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
I got you. So, your nationality is listed as Afro-Latina.
Yes, that's how I
And
identify.
Where does that origin come from of being Afro-Latina?
So as Afro Latina, I have history, like family history, that does go back to Africa. My great grandmother, Mama Chonga, is from Montserrat and came over to Puerto Rico, met great grandpa, and whatever the case may be. And she was actually still alive when I was a kid, so I got to have pictures of her. But to the understanding of the story, she was the daughter of slaves that were freed. And then my mother represents more of the Spaniard side of Puerto Rico. So, Puerto Rico within itself, right, is 3 different cultures. So, you're talking African, you're talking Taino Indian, and then you're talking some sort of European, which,
Gotcha.
Were the people that were,
Right.
the people traveling folks over.
Yeah,
And so I don't know many other, if outside of my family, I don't know any other Series, Puerto Ricans with the last name Seary.
Gotcha.
So it's something that we get to just have,
Yes.
right? And so regardless of how we got it, sometimes it's just there's a pride in that it's ours and that we've made it our own because it's not even pronounced like that. Apparently it's Irish, and so it's pronounced Seary. And one of my cousins who's in the Army, he had visited Ireland at some point and actually found our name in like some type of like big book and like shared it with the family on Facebook or whatever it was.
The Big Book of Ireland.
It's like a book of names or like people, whatever from wherever they from.
Yeah.
And so he found our name in the book. And, for me, even though we don't pronounce it that way, like I said, I think we've made it our own, right? So my family on the island says Seary, right? And then we say Seary. And so, again, took it, made it our own, twisted it. And, I think that's where Seary.
So Dr. Seary sounds
Dr. Seary.
That sounds cool.
Dr. Seary de Jesus, because my mother's name actually goes at the end. If I go by like true Latino, my mother's name goes after. So it would be
That sounds beautiful.
Jaivonne Seary de Jesus.
So this might get edited out, but I
It's
want
all right.
you to look in that camera right there
Okay.
and say, "Take that, take that." They know
Take
who they
that,
are.
take that. They
Take
know who they
that,
are.
take
Take
that.
that.
You know who you are. Okay.
Got
So
you.
you walk onto the campus of Virginia State University, which is a historically black university,
Yes.
right? That's clearly a deliberate choice,
Absolutely. 100%.
right? What were you seeking or looking for when you made that choice? Because, you know, you was young. You had buckled down in high school, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you had your choice of college at that point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What was up? What was up in the air that you chose Virginia State?
You know, it's
University.
weird because for me there was no question that I was going to go to a HBCU. Again, I connected to that part of my culture almost immediately, and especially in high school, getting to MLK, and then I don't know when my sister went to school upstate.
Okay.
So she's, PWI, Binghamton University. I think, big up to the Bingos or whatever they call themselves,
We know a lot
right?
of them.
We know a few. We know a few. And I knew I was not going upstate. That was number one. And then when I really thought about the schools that I wanted to go to, everything about the HBCU culture was the stuff that stood out. That's where I felt like I belonged. That's the thing that I connected myself to. And so I literally applied to only HBCUs. And then my mother actually made me apply to some state schools, and but that was again financial reasons.
You gotta.
To be a class clown, I got accepted into every school that I applied to. So I actually had a choice.
Got you.
I chose Virginia State because 3 of my friends who were graduating with me from MLK were also going to Virginia State. And so it became a thing. But I went down, I used to do, I did the Black College tour and things like that. And so I got to see a bunch of different colleges. Howard was definitely an option, but it was so expensive. And freshman year, they offered me absolutely nothing. Virginia State offered me the most money, and me considering, my mom and what she would have to come out of pocket to allow me to go out of state for school. It was a no-brainer. And so Virginia State is where I landed. I already knew people that I was going with. We were in the same dorm. And so
Steps was ordered.
So it was done.
It was done.
Decision made,
Yeah.
stuff packed, we was out.
Oh man, that's great. So, what is the most? Let's talk about the most significant thing you took away from Virginia State University. While you were there for those first couple of years, right? What did you learn? What did you have to adapt to?
So that I pledged Delta at Virginia State University. Yeah, I'm an undergrad. I was a baby.
What year did you pledge Delta?
So spring
Delta
2000,
Sigma Theta
yes,
Incorporated.
spring 2000. I pledged the Alpha Eta chapter at Virginia State University. Shout out to Fatal 41, my line sisters and my big sisters. So, connection can really drive a lot.
Yes.
And that's what I took away from MLK. Anybody, for the most part, anybody that goes to a HBCU, that's what they're going to talk about. They're going to tell you about the family they made. They're going to tell you about the connections they made, the friends they made, the networking, the lifelong, relationships that carry for 25, 30 years later, and you're still friends with the same people and like this, right? That was the biggest thing, right? There's a love and a connection to the school, but it's really about who was present with me. And so, there were things that as college kids, like we really went through, right? Like there were just things that were difficult and challenges that we faced, but we never did it alone, right? And so that's the one thing that I think if I had to pick out of all of the things that I left with, it was the camaraderie. It was the connections. It was the community between my sorority, other clubs that I was in, and then also just general friendships. I mean, literally my mom, and this is why my mom has such a love for the Deltas. I was the first Greek in my family. My mother don't know nothing about nothing. I'm the first person to attend a HBCU. She don't know nothing about nothing, right? Now, she's the most intelligent woman I know. So when I say she don't know nothing about nothing, I'm talking about the culture and all and the shenanigans, right? But not that she don't like know stuff. But that was the one thing with my mom. I was her baby, her youngest child. I'm the furthest away from home. And she entrusted because even my big sisters in Delta, again, messing up, right? They were the ones like pulling me back and putting me back together. They would literally call my mom on the phone and tell on me. And my mother, and they like, we gonna send her up on the train. She doing such and such. And my mother be like, leave her there. And I'm like, what are y'all, like, what kind of in cahoots is this? But, that was, again, even for my mom, and even my sister always talks about like the amount of love that I received, especially from my big sisters in Delta. It was like, they knew I was safe. They knew I was good. They knew I was okay. You know what I mean? And so to hear about the thing about family, the way teachers were, all of that, it absolutely is a thing where even my family knew I was good. Right. Like they didn't have to worry much about me. Like my mother literally, if she wanted to get at me, she would call one of my big sisters probably right now and be like, LaTanya, she doing such and such. You know what I mean? Like easy.
Yeah. So after your undergrad, what are you looking for in particular? Because as we talked about, the gray areas are different pockets of our lives, right? And what the gray area, what it means to me, it's a choice, decision making that you have to do, right? Not to judge it as a good choice or a bad choice, because we have those, but it's up, down, left, right. You have to make that choice. So this is a gray area, like stepping into your career. There's some indecision there. What are you looking for in particular?
And the only reason why I'm laughing is because it's 20 plus years.
Right.
It sounds as if social work was even my choice, and it wasn't. I just been there a long time. But I actually didn't graduate and step straight into my career. I didn't even want to come back to New York. I tried to make it out there, living in Richmond, Virginia, for a little bit longer. And then when I got back to New York, to be honest, I was lost. So that probably was another gray area that I found myself, or I've had several. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was a psychology major undergrad, but I didn't realize the amount of school that I would still need to continue in that path. And when I came home, I was a hot mess. I was like newly out in New York, and New York queer life was something like I never experienced, especially not in Virginia. Right. And so, I wanted to be in the streets. And so I was out, I was having, a grand old time, and I wasn't focused on career at all. And I actually I worked in bookkeeping for a while, in real estate. My mom helped me get that position. I worked, what else did I do? I did a couple of different things. And then it was a few years after that my mother was like, you need to figure something out. Because the back and forth, I was going back and forth to Virginia and New York all the time. I couldn't get settled for years.
So you were up and moving back to.
For years. Yeah. I'd go down, try to make life happen down there. Didn't work, come back to New York, try to make life happen here. Oh, wow. And then I finally came back, and that's when I finally settled. And I went into, I was working, was that the time that I was working at, what was my first job? I got a job, another big sister in Delta. That's how I got into social work. So Tawana, shout out to TV, Tawana Branch. She actually used to get all of us jobs, right? And so she got me a job at St. Dominic's Home. It's a foster care agency in the Bronx. And, again, knowing that I needed to settle down and stuff like that. And so I started working there as a case manager. Wasn't really feeling it, but that's what I was doing for a little while, for a couple of years. And then it kind of went from there. So after that, I went to Children's Village, worked there for a couple of more years. And then Children's Village had a scholarship. Right. And so they had a scholarship that they offered to staff members to attend Hunter College School of Social Work. And so I literally was like, I'm just going to apply for this. I was the AWOL specialist. I thought I was like Dog the Bounty Hunter. I used to just run out, get warrants, and go pick up kids that would run away from care. Really? Yeah, and I loved that job. But, it was a scholarship, so I'm like, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. Let's see what happens. Literally, that's how I threw the application and got it. And so I got a free ride for my master's in social work at Silberman School of Social Work. And that's how I got into social work. It was not my career path. It wasn't what I wanted to do or where I even thought I would go. I thought I was going to be like Alex Cross from, what is it? Alex Cross, he was a forensic psychologist,
yeah,
right?
that's
That's what I thought I was going to be doing.
Okay.
But instead, social work called me, and I went ahead and answered the phone.
Wow. Okay. That's that. So what was it? What was it that made you stick with it? Because at one point before you were leaving, going to VA,
Yeah.
coming back to New York, but
Yeah.
was it because of this is substantial. Like, this is a free ride at this point, right? Not many people get this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that made you lean into that to stay with it?
So when I went to Silberman, it was the program. The program was very anti-oppressive, very anti-racist. It really was about community and building up the community, and that was the first, that I really, really saw what I could do to help others in what I thought was a meaningful way. And so I was like, all right, this is what we're going to be. At first, it was just a degree that I was getting.
In your mind, it was just a degree.
It was just a degree.
I'm getting a master's.
I'm getting a master's. It was in organizational management and leadership in social work. So then I started thinking, all right, I'm going to build my own program, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And then I really wanted to build it around people of color, queer and trans folks. At the time, I worked with teens, and that was my main focus. And then from there, again, like I said, it just built. After Children's Village, I stuck with it. Went on to work in some other jobs, and I got to Kings County District Attorney's Office, and I worked with the Special Victims Unit, and it is exactly like the show, which is my favorite show. But when I say it's exactly like the show, it was to the point where I couldn't watch the show while working it every day, and I said, oh no, I can't do this.
Wow.
Because the trauma, like that trauma directly like that was way too much. And so I had to figure out, all right, what's another thing? So one thing about social work is mad broad. Yeah. Social work is such a big field that there's so many different ways to be able to be in service to others and to communities, whether individual, families, like groups, whatever the case may be. And so from there, I started to get into private practice.
Were you ever a recipient of therapy?
No.
In care?
No, as a matter of fact, yes. After college, I came back home. It was during that time of the gray area where I was just back and forth. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I tried it. It was literally in this lady's house on the Upper West Side. So there was like, grand piano, super high ceilings.
So the feel about it was...
There you go. It was cold. It was cold. It didn't feel like I could trust her.
There was no connection.
I found myself making up stories just to get through the hour of therapy. Like, let me just say something. Because I didn't trust to tell her my, anything truth. Because I'm like, nah, this lady that's sitting across from me don't look nothing like she understands anything that I'm saying. And I can't afford to say the wrong thing. And somehow it be used against me. Like, that was literally what I was thinking in my mind. And that was when I said, I got to be able to put myself in a position to provide that safety for others. But that was,
Yeah, okay. So, so what year was it that you graduated with your master's from Silberman School?
2013. It was January of 2013. Okay. I graduated Silberman. 2014, I got my first license.
Got you. Okay.
So I got my license and a licensed master social worker from New York. And then 2022, I got the one in Jersey. So I got the licensed clinical social work in Jersey. And then I just kept going. So the license helps me to, to do my practice.
Okay.
And then I went back and got my doctorate after that.
In 2025.
Yeah, It's been a year.
Yeah, in 2025, you earned your Doctor of Social Work degree from Works-Wheeler School of Social Work at Yeshiva University.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about obtaining that. Like, there's a lot of work, and there's research, there's writing, there's defending your ideas.
Yeah.
and you alluded to this, being a member of the LGBTQIA community, that impacted your research. That's
Oh yeah.
greatly, right? Provide some details on what that pursuit was like going after that,
Yeah.
doctorate.
So I think like with everything else in my life and how I make decisions, that was a quick decision. My dad, not my father, my dad, my stepdad, he was on his way out of here, and I knew I needed I needed something to move in my life. You ever get that feeling where you're just like, I need something to shake up
Yeah.
because the grief was so heavy.
Yeah.
And so I needed something to shake up, and I'm like, what could I do? Man, I don't even know how.
Oh, I'm going for my doctorate.
It's like, yeah, like don't go buy a new pair of sneakers, right? But like, yeah, why don't we apply for a program?
Right.
Like, who does that? Jaivonne, right?
Okay.
And so actually, I did a late admission, and so yeah, I didn't even know they had those. So I literally, like, I don't know where I saw it, but, like a computer email, something where it was just an advertisement for. I think it was I forgot which school it was, Simmons or something like that. They did an advertisement for like, oh, their DSW program, whatever. So I was like, oh, but it's like June, right? Like, ain't school about to start? But I said, oh, let me look into it. So I did, and then I realized that there's other schools that have this thing called late admissions, where you can apply late, but you get a quick turnaround as far as acceptance. Okay. And so I applied to Simmons, got accepted there, and I applied to Yeshiva and got accepted there, and that's how I got in. So I literally applied like June, like the end of June, and by August I had my acceptance letter, my scholarship sheet, and I knew where I was going.
Getting scholarships too with that.
Oh yeah, I got a partial scholarship for that one.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that helps.
Ain't enough, but yeah. Ain't enough, but yeah. But yeah, that's how I got into a DSW program. I literally was like, what else could I do? Like, I need to do something else. Something got to give. Right. At the time, I really didn't know what I could do with it. I never thought of teaching or writing or, even that being in my path. I just needed something more. I needed to elevate myself.
And it was because of the grief.
Yeah, grief definitely has something to do with it. There was some other personal stuff going on at the time too, but the grief was really what made me apply.
That made you apply.
Yeah.
Right. Once in it, this program, after year one, what are you thinking?
Honestly, after year one, I was like, oh, I could do this.
I got this.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So, at what point did it ever feel overwhelming? Did it ever feel?
What's crazy is it always felt overwhelming, right? But I guess I like a challenge.
You thrived in that?
So I thrived in that. Yeah. But again, the connection, like it was an online program, but we had like Zoom online classes. And again, like, I'm a clown. So I'm in the chats and, talking to other students, and I'm making connections with people, and they really helped keep me going. My professors were all great. Like they were absolutely awesome. And I started to really see, because one thing about the DSW program is it really shows you where theory and practice go together. Okay. So the fact that I had all these years of experience from being a case manager in foster care all the way to private practice work, I got to actually really use that. So it didn't feel like I was starting from scratch or I was starting something new. It was just like, put what you know.
Got you.
Like, use what you know and put that on paper. Use your experience and put that there. Use your personal life, which is scary.
Very.
Use your personal life and write about that. Right. And then you apply the theory. Then you apply
You wasn't able to share your personal life in that cold room.
No.
But now we're putting it to paper to submit.
Again, in a way that will then serve others, right? And help other people with their lives, their families, their career paths, their journeys.
Your research, you were published.
Yeah.
called
That's crazy.
Insights for Supervising Black, Indigenous, and People of Color Clinicians,
Yeah.
right? Which is an acronym is BIPOC,
Yep.
right? Your research covers racial trauma impact that it has had on the BIPOC therapists. So I want to read a little bit of the abstract of that.
Oh,
So it says,
you went and looked it up?
a little bit, got to try, right? During the COVID-19 pandemic, BIPOC therapists treating clients with shared identities faced increased vulnerability to both direct and secondary trauma. To avoid any implications of injury to the therapeutic process, BIPOC therapists must maintain a low risk of harm and over-identification. An article examining the significance of intersectional racial trauma and shared experiences in the therapeutic relationship. What I wanted to know, though, in your research and all the findings of your research,
Yeah.
after you do all of that work and you finish your program, there's a gray area. What am I going to do with this? Right? Where are we going to go with it? So my question to you is the healer and the one who needs healing, because your study is about protecting those who are helping those that
Absolutely.
need help.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that like?
That's crazy. I never had my words read back to me, and the fact that like I'm like, oh, I wrote that.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to write it and put it in words, right? But I live it. Like I literally live it every day, right? I close out my clients for the day, right? I gotta decompress. Like I got to go quiet for a little while and like woosah and like let go so that I could be, a daughter, a partner, a sorority member, like, so it's really, I think what happened, and the reason why I focused on COVID-19, COVID-19 was a tough time for therapists. And we didn't get the recognition of being essential workers. But let me tell you something. Not only did we not stop working, our work really increased.
Workload, yeah.
I mean, exponentially. So many people were, dealing with this collective trauma, meaning like all of us were going through it at the same time, that, the call-ins, the reach-outs for people to get therapy just like increased to the point where, and I talk about it in the article, where the mayor at the time of New York was literally creating like free programs for people to get mental health services.
Wow. Okay.
And, of course, you had the George Floyd's going on, and that's where the racial trauma comes in at that I talk of. And I found myself struggling. At that time, I was an assistant director of another private group practice, and I didn't know how to take care of my staff. I was like, I don't know what to tell them because I don't know what to do. Yeah. Like we in this boat where we're, taking care of others. Right. And at the time, and I'm going to be 100% honest, when I wasn't in the middle of a session, I needed a drink. Like, I was like, I got to have a drink. Like, there's too much going on. Okay. I'm in the house. I'm lonely. Like, I can only see my bubbles, the people in the bubbles, right? I can only see the people in my bubbles, every so often or whatever the case may be. And I didn't know what to do with all of that. And thank God I had a good supervisor that I felt safe with to actually talk about that. And then it kind of opened my eyes to say, what do the other staff members need? Because they got to be, if I'm the assistant director and people are looking up to me and I ain't got it, I wonder what they going through, right? And so we started to really kind of like look at our staff and figure out what people needed, right, that are doing the work. And then since then, it's been one of my main focuses because for me, we do a lot in social work about talking about the client experience, right? The children, the families, the people receiving the services. And I'm like, how are we paying attention to the people providing it? Like, because if they're not being taken care of, how are they taking care of others? Right. And then so me having my experience, again, I bring in my personal stuff. So me having my own experience and then also, part of my organizational management skills and leadership skills is really wanting to also make sure that just staff in general have high morale. They feel safe to talk about the things they're struggling with. That really was what kind of catapulted me into when I got into the DSW program. Because, in your application, you have to kind of, you have to explain what your research would be.
Gotcha.
So you almost write like a proposed research. And so I knew that's what I wanted to do. Like, it was what I wanted to study. And, the reason why I say that it's experience and it's personal life, and then you add the theory, is because for me, that was the route that it went. Like, I knew what I experienced. Like, I don't need nobody explaining that to me. Like, I got that part. I don't understand the why, and I don't know how to work through it. And that's where I then went to school and figured out, oh, look at this theory. This theory can apply to that. This is how we can get out of this situation. This is how we can do a workaround or a work through. And so that's what the DSW program was able to do. And so when I wrote the article, the article doesn't just give the story, but it also gives some solutions on how to work through it, right? And so that's been absolutely one of my main focuses.
Got you. Helping those who are helping.
Help those who are also helping, yeah. But you said the healer who needs healing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The healer who needs healing. That's right.
My second article, it's not published yet, but and that one, just give you a piece of the title, is Healing Together.
Oh, okay.
And it kind of follows the same route and pattern and research around, again, how are we doing these kind of like dual healing processes.
Got you. Okay. So you went to school, you came home, you started going back and forth, you're working, and you alluded to newly being out.
Yeah.
When did you start to feel comfortable being out?
As soon as my mother knew.
As soon as your mom knew.
Yeah.
Right. Did that help you? Did that help ground you more in your decision making about your life and career? Once you were comfortable with that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Once my mother knew, I was good with myself.
Gotcha.
Like her and my family they're my everything. Yes. So if they're good with it, I don't care about when I say I don't care about nobody else. So once I knew my family was good, my immediate family, then that was it. What actually happened as far as and then at that point I was out everywhere, right? There was no hiding. There was no need to hide. When I was actually teaching not teaching, but I was facilitating the GSA for Children's Village. That's the Gay Straight Alliance.
Okay.
So it's like a teen program. And I was out, but it wasn't kind of, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it was loud if you knew, but it wasn't like something that I wore on my sleeve and said, hi, my name is Jaivonne. I'm a lesbian.
Right.
What about you? It wasn't like that, but you knew. Right. Like, I dress in male clothing, whatever. So you knew, right? And working with teens.
Gotcha.
And one of the things that we used to talk about was quote unquote professionalism. And at the time I had a warped sense of professionalism, right? And this again goes into probably all these things just continue to show up in my life, right? Racial trauma at workplaces, right? So how you present, how you look on the outside, right? Determines how high you may go in a company. Yeah. How out you are. Because my outness didn't really work at St. Dominic's home.
Okay.
And so now I'm at Children's Village, and, I'm out and I'm loud there, but I'm still in the back of my mind, like constantly thinking and rethinking about how I'm showing up or what people are thinking of me. And there was the kids one day were like, I was talking to them again about professionalism, and they were getting ready to do like mock job interviews and things like that. And I'm like, why am I trying to set them into the same box that I've been in all my life, where you have to show up a certain way so you're not comfortable, right? You're tied up, and you're not interviewing the way that you really can because you're not comfortable with who you are. Right. I'm supposed to be teaching them to be who they are and let the rest work for them.
Right.
And then one of the kids, teenagers, they nosy, and so Miss Seary, you got a boyfriend? You got a girlfriend? Like, what you got? And I'm like, why y'all in my business, right? So again,
that's where they're just peeling away.
Yeah, they're trying to see. Yeah, they know, they can tell. I'm running the GSA, but they're also like, how far can they get information?
Kids will test you.
And again, I'm in my mind thinking that professionalism is holding these tight boundaries,
right,
without letting them into my world. But again, I'm also trying to model for them how to be in the world. And at that point, I was like, well, we're gonna have to just lay the cards out and see, and see where it falls. Right. And that's when I realized that I can't be truly out myself if I'm not fully and all the way loud with it. And the kids won't see that. Right. And I can't encourage them to do something that I'm not doing. Right. Now, again, I'm a different generation, so we don't come from a, you know what I mean? Like, right. From a generation where you could play around professionally, right? There's just but so much lines that you can cross in certain settings. But that was the day that I realized that I wasn't living out loud the way that I was encouraging them to. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote I wrote a paper then called Out and About. I had one of the, they're not students, but I had one of the students at Children's Village help me out with it. We went and presented it at the Pride Conference in Westchester. Mm-hmm. And from that point on, again, it didn't matter who, right? I really realized, you know what, I can mix my professionalism, twist it, make it my own way, and still show up at my absolute best, and people are still going to buy that. Right. As a matter of fact, they may buy that more because they're seeing they're seeing all of me. Right. And the thing that mattered the most was the kids got to see it. Got you. Like, the kids got to really like see me be this person and still, be in a leadership position, still working, they used to call it the White House, work in the White House, like, have this higher position, have these degrees, have all of this stuff. Right. But still completely be myself and not give a F, what people are thinking. So
it's like you let your hair, you were really truly able to just be yourself, let your hair down.
That was the last.
That was the last, I don't want to call it a hurdle, but that was the last thing that you had to overcome to really, really feel comfortable being who you are. Mom knew, family knew. Yeah. And now your professional life knows. Yeah. And then, so nothing can stop you at this point of living a comfortable life. Yeah.
Yeah. Once I crossed that, that was it for me. Like, at that point, there was no turning back. And I didn't want to. Right. But it was over a couple of years, right? To build that courage. But we're so sometimes afraid of keeping the job. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And the insurance and the benefits and the salary and the position that we don't step into our own. Mm-hmm. And while I was getting my master's, I ran into a situation with the person who was supervising me because, she was in a high leadership position at the place where I was doing my internship at. And she kept telling me, like, that I didn't give, like, I didn't look, like I wasn't giving that I was like a clinical social worker. And I was like, I don't know what that means. And she was like, you're just not giving, like, and I'm like, I still don't know, like, what you mean by that. Mm-hmm. And you can imagine, so that's what she was, an older white woman, older white woman.
So she's projecting what the position image should be.
Oh, she boxed me early, right. And it was crazy because I had other people of color, telling me, like, Jaivonne, you're too, tone it down. Like, really? And I'm like, you telling me to tone it down is crazy because you should be encouraging me. Yeah. And instead, it was like, yo, if you want to get, if you want to go up more, like, tone it down here. And I was just like, and then them kids was really, really how I said, nah. And one of them to this day, transgender female, love her to death, like, still in my life. That's the kid right there. Yeah. That kid is still in my life. The grandmother, all of that, like, we're still connected. We check in every couple of months. But that was the kid right there that, the teacher became the student became the teacher, to sit there and say, nah, it's all right. We can live out completely loud.
That's beautiful, because a lot of young kids that are living queer life, they don't have many safe spaces.
Yeah.
It should be home for so many. It's
unfortunately
it's not home.
Yeah.
And so for you to be able to provide that, and as well as help them get over that, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So you talked about some spaces where you worked at that was a little uncomfortable. So you left some of those spaces.
Left,
Yeah.
left as a we could use that loosely. We could use that loosely. Yeah.
Right.
So actually, in 2018, I went to NICAP, New York City Affirmative Psychotherapy. That's a group practice. That was, again, the first time I went on a job interview in 2018, where I dressed completely myself. I wasn't trying to, and it wasn't that I wasn't trying to impress, because I always dress to impress.
Right.
But I said, I got to show up like this, because this is how I want them to know me. I don't want to show up and then, week one, they're like, oh, who was at the interview? Because this person sitting in front of me ain't the same, ain't the same person. Because, once you get the job, then it's like, who cares? Like you said, let your hair down.
Right.
But what ended up happening was, and this was the funniest thing to me, myself and the founder of that practice, Aaron, we almost looked identical in the way we were dressed at the interview.
Okay.
And it was, my heart was like, remember we talked about warm?
Yeah.
From the moment I got in there and I looked at him and he looked at me, and I was like, oh, we're going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to be good. And so I actually worked there for about 6.5 years. And he really held me down. Like, he really, really held me down. It was the most that I felt like I could be vulnerable in a space and supported. But he also catapulted me into like really realizing that I can and I want to do it for myself and on my own. Okay. And so in 2020, what are we in now? 2026?
Yeah.
So 2024, my practice has just turned 2 years old.
Got you.
June 1st.
Okay.
So I actually 2024 opened my own private practice, which is Journey to Better LLC.
So your practice, Journey to Better, you say that better is not defined by society or others.
Correct.
What needs to happen for a person that's going through that journey and receiving therapy? What needs to happen for one to begin to find better?
First thing, they got to be safe. They got to be safe. Because, and I think that's on, right? I think that's on me, right? I think that's on the therapist to make them feel safe so that they can do the honest work, right? But you can't get to the honesty if you don't feel safe enough to, right? And it's, it's unfortunate, but that's been something that I've heard in a lot of queer and, people of color spaces, regardless of the field, which is crazy. But even in therapy, people got to feel safe. Yeah. So you provide the safe environment for them, they will come and open up.
Gotcha. Was there a time when someone else's, and I think you did allude to this, but I do want to ask is that was there a time when someone else's definition of what your better was looking like, did it ever derail you?
It was crazy. I think to this day, people probably have their own definition of what better for me look like.
Right.
I just stopped listening.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so one of the things that I talk about, that you were reading from is where I describe the work that I do, right? Or what my practice is really about. And so I urge people to decide for themselves after being honest with themselves about their needs and where they are in life and where they actually want to go, for them to decide what better looks like. I can't tell nobody what 100% look like. That's theirs.
That's theirs.
Right? Nobody can tell me that I'm sure a lot of people still shaking their head trying to figure out how I got here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they didn't think
Dr. J.
Yeah, like Dr. J is like, that's crazy. Sometimes I'm like, who?
You surprise yourself.
Oh, all the time. All the time. I forget.
That's beautiful.
And other people, other people hype me up and they remind me and they like, nah, put some respect on her name. It's
right.
doctor. And I'm like, oh, yeah. You're right. But I had to decide for myself what better look like. And it's scary.
Right.
It's scary to do that. I think it would be a lot easier if I just lived under society standards. Right?
For all of us, right? If
Yeah.
we don't try to push the norms or try to ask to reach excellence or try to get more than, they're looking to give us. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We know who will be the happiest, though, right? You've talked openly about your relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how openly, but yeah. With you.
With me.
With
Right,
you.
I'm sorry. Right. I'm sorry.
But yeah.
You talked about that with in your commitment to sobriety.
Yeah.
You're celebrating a milestone in sobriety right now, right? Where we at?
Well, I celebrated it in February, so I'm 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
2.5 years sober.
That's celebration.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's a big thing. Because I have fun. So I still have fun. I just had to learn how to have fun differently. But 2.5 years sober.
That's good. Good for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. I'm
Thank you.
So happy for
Thank you.
As a therapist who helps people navigate such as that, like addictions, who helps you? How did you get through some of those dark moments?
Ooh, baby. I feel like I'm on an award show. First, I want to thank God. I want to thank God, the Almighty. No, seriously, I want to thank God. Because, because when I say I don't think I was supposed to be here, like, and I'm not going to get emotional, we're not doing this. But when I say I think that, not even think, I know I wasn't, right? Like there was so much going against me being able to make it to even 1 month of sobriety. Yeah.
So there were attempts before.
Oh yeah. Oh, I tried all the things. I tried medication. I tried harm reduction. That's where I'm just gonna have beer and wine. None of that worked for me. It does work for some people.
Yeah.
So kudos to those people trying harm reduction, and kudos to people that choose medication and other things. But God, number one, my circle, my family. The reason why I said I don't know how open I am is because one thing about me is I talk to everybody.
Yeah.
I am not an open book to everybody.
Right.
So that's a real big difference. So there's probably a whole lot of people that's like, wait, that you mean she wasn't drunk last time I saw her? No, I was not.
Yes, I don't know.
That was my natural state. That's like, no, seriously. I know there's some people like
Jaivonne is always fun.
Yeah, that's a natural energy.
It's a natural energy there.
Yeah. But
it's beautiful that you were able to find that naturally.
Yeah.
Without substance.
Yeah. And that I think, to be honest, that was the hardest part about it. Because when you just commit, right? Even if it's food or whatever the addiction is for, when you just commit to letting go of it, that's one part of the healing. That's one part of the trial of letting it go, right?
Okay.
But when you have to now reintegrate yourself into life, that's the test.
Because the people around you know you as Jaivonne, the person. Yeah, she'll have a drink.
Not even just the people, but me, myself.
Right. So
I used to be like, yo, how am I do this?
Did you have to retrain your relationships and the people around you? Was there any uncomfortable conversations that you had to have?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially at the beginning. Okay. Because it was weird. It was like again, like I said, and nobody put pressure, right? Like I said, kudos to like the people that know me, that knew how to hold me in that space, even while I was trying.
Gotcha.
Right. So, I have, big shout out to Sands, because it was, there was a lot of checking in. Are you okay? Are you good? You want like a mocktail? Like, do you need anything? Like, are you comfortable? You know, my family, same thing. My sister Jennifer, especially, you know, was kind of like, maybe we shouldn't do this in front of her in order. And I'm like, everybody, y'all gotta relax
Okay.
because I need y'all to be normal so I could feel normal.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I was gonna ask you
Yeah.
that. Like, you know, like there's gonna be friends like, oh, hey, put this away, put that away. You know, quit. But you needed them to still be who they were.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
You know, and
For
and
me to
still
be able
love
to,
you
for me to be able to find who I was back in that arena, that circle, that event, I needed people to be their normal selves. Now, the first 6 months, no lie, no, I didn't want to go outside. I didn't want to be around nothing because it's drinking everywhere. It's like you can't even go bowling. You go bowling and it's a bar in the bowling alley, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it was like, how do I keep going out and not having the temptation? So the first 6 months were the hardest of just kind of like stepping away. So I knew in my house there was going to be no drinking, right? But I can't control what people do outside. But what I didn't want was the like you said, like the hiding of things or the not doing things in front. Now, my friends and my family, like they would do it or they would offer to.
Gotcha.
Like, hey, if you're not drinking, like we won't drink tonight either. And I'm like, go ahead. Like, I gotta get used to it.
Yeah.
And it's
But
gonna
what
be
you
okay.
said, I think what you said, you know, just a couple seconds ago, is about I need you to be normal so I can make this my normal.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's key.
Because if that other thing we was doing was normal,
yeah.
I gotta learn how to be able to do this. Because that other stuff, you know, it's funny now because for a while I was like, I would go back out and I used to sit there like, this what I was doing like this. But I absolutely, you know, hands down, I love my friends.
Yes.
I love my family. Like we are a fun. I have many groups of friends. And so I also had to repeat this in many different circles.
So you had to
Oh,
like
yeah, I had to
teaching a different
repeat this
class.
in many different circles. I had to keep repeating the getting comfortable and the, you know, creating that normal and, you know, returning to myself in those spaces. Yeah.
You describe therapy as historically stigmatized, mistrusting, or inaccessible for queer, trans, and people of color.
Yes.
Your practice, Journey to Better,
Yeah.
it was built specifically for those people.
Correct.
What is the gray area of being both the person who needed that safe space and the person creating that safe space because you knew it didn't exist?
What's the gray area? If I'm 100%, right? It's being able to do it and provide it in a way that's sustainable for me, because I still gotta live, right? Like if I could do it for free for everybody, I promise you, like Cal, 1,000% I would.
Right.
But I can't. So one of the biggest gray areas or pieces for me is the financial part of providing therapy. It's, you know, trying to keep it affordable while still, you know, being able to maintain a salary for myself and pay my bills so that they can also get the best care. So that's been a gray area. And then I would say secondly is making sure I'm okay to provide it for them. So I got to do a lot of kind of like the self-reflection, the self-care, the, you know, that kind of thing. And how I build out my schedule and stuff like that so that when I'm, you know, when I'm there and I'm present providing, I'm at my best.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. That's beautiful. Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
So we have rapid fire. It's called Outside the Gray Zone.
Oh, Lord.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So let's go real quick.
Outside the gray? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
What's the one thing your therapist's brain won't let you say out loud in a normal conversation? Your doctor brain.
Is you dumb? I'm sorry, clients, but sometimes I really want to sit there and be like, "Yo, is you dumb? Like what?"
That Remy Ma line.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Shout out, right? BX, baby.
Yes. Spanish Harlem or the Bronx. Which one made you tougher?
Spanish Harlem.
Okay. If Journey to Better LLC had a theme song, what would it be?
If Journey to Better had a theme song, what would it be? He Turned It.
Oh,
Ty Tribbett.
Try Turbot.
The devil
so
thought he had
yeah,
me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, you got that song. Come
That's
on.
my I'm gonna
Come
listen
on the
to
track.
it.
Yeah.
It just
Turn up
make
a
you
lot.
ready to
Oh, yeah.
right, like fight
Yeah.
for yours. Yeah.
Yeah. What does better look like for Dr. J right now today?
You know, I'm gonna say, you know, and I wore this shirt right for a reason. I like things that say stuff. Not name brand, but I like things that have a statement. And when I was thinking about the high tide, I'm in a high tide season of my life. I don't have much, weirdly, like I don't have much wants right now.
That's beautiful.
Like this is I think I'm in a great space. And so better for me, it's hard because I feel like I'm living it. Like I feel like I'm living my better. So I'm not done celebrating this season just yet.
Right.
You know, better is everything that I have now plus. Like I just want everything in abundance.
Yes,
Like
yes.
cuz I have a lot and I just want to expand those things, right? I don't really need much new. I need the people that I have that I love. I need those connections to stay deeper and richer. I need, my money could be better. I say that. The money could always be better, all right?
Right.
But yeah, that's a really hard one.
But no, I think you answered it though.
Yeah.
You are happy. You are.
I'm in a
happy,
good space.
And you're in a space.
Yeah.
You're better than you were.
That part. I'm better than I was yesterday.
Exactly.
Better than I was a month ago, a year ago.
It's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about where you started, how you're built, and what you survived. When someone hears your story, what do you want them to take away from your gray area moments?
So I would say 3 things. No matter what you face, don't give up on yourself. Because truth be told, other people are. They gonna give up. They not gonna think you could do it. They'll. Some people will tell you behind your back. Some people will tell you straight to your face. And it could be some of your closest people. You can't give up on yourself. Number 2, find you something bigger than yourself to believe in. Bigger than yourself. I didn't get here just doing it for me.
Right.
I'm doing it for 14-year-old Jaivonne, 7-year-old. I'm doing it for the 14-year-old across the street. I'm doing it for the other kid down the block. So find something bigger than yourself to do it for. And then 3, no matter what you go through, don't look like it.
You still gotta get
Show up. Yeah, still show up. Still show up. Don't let the devil, the person, the job, don't let them see you sweat. Don't give them that satisfaction.
I got you.
So those would be the 3 things. If you find yourself in a gray area, I would say
That's beautiful. That's
keep mindful of. Yeah.
Jaivonne Seary, Dr. Jaivonne Seary, aka
Doctor.
J. I want to
crazy.
thank you for coming out today, coming and stepping into the gray area,
Thank you.
sharing your journey.
Yeah.
I hope we've done it justice. We love you.
I love you.
And we always gonna have your back and keep going.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, please like, subscribe, share with somebody. Tell a friend to tell a friend. But thanks for stepping into the gray area. I'm your host, Cal Gray. Peace.
Dr. J.
Dr. J.
I'm out.
It's a
Out
wrap.
into